What is up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Abby. Pretty echoey in here, so bear with me. It's pretty empty right now, but welcome to the renovation series part 1. If you are new here, me and my husband bought a house in 2019 and we live on Long Island, so it's pretty expensive, and so we bought a fixer-upper that we knew we wanted to stay in for a really long time because we loved the neighborhood, the schools, the backyard. This is the first process, and then hopefully within the next year we'll also be doing like the kitchen. But if you are already subscribed, you guys might know this room as my current office. I say that very loosely because during quarantine I was bored and I was just trying to do little things here and there, so I did get this desk and chair for me to edit back here in the meantime, and I really never use it because it's not super cozy back here yet. Realistically, you might know this room as the room where I do all my tie-dye. So during quarantine, I'm a hairdresser, so I was shut down by the governments for about 3 months, and so I filled up my time doing a lot of tie-dye. Since then, I've slowed down with it. I'm probably going to stop doing it. I'll get to that in a little bit. But anyway, if you've watched any of my videos of myself doing that, you knew that I realistically always did it back here. It's just a nice big empty room. Before we get into everything that we're going to be doing, I do just want to cover some things that I feel like are going to be questions and just kind of like give the lay of the land. This like room situation is an extension from the house. So when they first built the house, it was a square, it was a colonial, and then eventually the old owners, they added a hallway. Then it leads into this big room that has a separate walk-in closet and a bathroom. So they did that because I'm pretty sure the old owners used this as their master bedroom, especially they got a little older, so I don't think like walking up all the stairs and everything. So they were using this as their master, and it is a beautiful master. It is a very big room, way bigger than any of the other rooms in the house. And I have so many friends that are like, oh my God, it's so much bigger and nicer than all of the other rooms. It's the biggest bathroom in the house, all of these little things, so why wouldn't we want it as a master? But for me personally, I just don't like having the master bedroom be on the ground level. It just doesn't feel super cozy to me, and I always wanted a colonial because I love the aspect of having all the living things on the ground level and then having all the bedrooms and sleeping things upstairs. So for me, I knew that this never was gonna be a master, and I saw a couple people, you know, like, why don't you make it like a guest bedroom? Our family and friends as of right now live on Long Island. We never have guests, so I'm definitely not gonna waste the nicest, biggest room in the house on a guest bedroom. But regardless, this never was a room that we didn't know what to do with. We knew as soon as we saw this house, actually, we knew immediately what we wanted it to be for, and that was for it to be my office or studio. Second living room, we always kind of knew that this wasn't going to be any type of bedroom. We always kind of had our intentions of what it would be for. You guys might already know this, I'm sure most of you do. I am a salon studio owner. I've owned my own business with hair since 2014, so going on 7 years. I used to have an in-home studio when I lived at my dad's house still, and it was in the basement. And then since 2017, I've actually been with Sola Salon Studios, which is a franchise that basically is a building and each room is a separate studio. So if you've ever been to a doctor's office or appointment where it's a hallway and each doctor's office is a separate room, it is the exact same thing. So I don't have a boss, I have a landlord, and I just pay him a flat rate of rent a week. So that is what I've been doing for 4 years. I love it so much. I could not recommend my landlord in particular to anyone enough, and I'm honestly very sad to be leaving there. But at the end of the day, I have changed a lot of my business tactics over the last year or so. So I used to do hair 6 days a week, especially before doing YouTube. That was the only thing that I did. So I did hair 6 days a week, took new clients all the time, and I ate, sleep, and breathed hair, which I still do. But ever since starting YouTube like a year and a half ago, and then also after COVID, I stopped taking new clients. I'm very lucky to be able to have such a good clientele. And as of right now, I only am at the studio 3 long days a week. That way I could focus on other things and other business ventures on my days off. So because of that, I have been feeling for a while, especially because I don't take new clients anymore, that it is getting a little bit wasteful because I'm only doing hair 3 days a week and the other 4 days I'm not, to be renting a full studio. So my end goal has never been to own a storefront or own a salon and take new clients forever. I do always want to do hair on some scale for the rest of my life, but over the last year, especially since COVID hit, I did want to start transitioning my business path towards more of online hair education and like content creation. So I love filming clients and like kind of what they're getting done in the process for YouTube, and I feel like that's kind of what I'm putting more of my passion into. So I would rather do hair way less hours a week and then be able to also film the process and eventually come out with courses, especially because I've had an in-home salon studio in the past. I know what goes into it. All states and cities are different, certain things that you need to have. And if you know I ever get the itch to take new clients again and like run a full-ass salon and have an assistant, then I would probably rent a storefront or a studio. But realistically at this point in time, especially, you know, if we have kids within the next couple years, I just don't see that happening. I'm going to be calling this my studio/office renovation, and it's basically just going to be my space. I can't think of an exact word. It's not a full studio. It's not just an office. It's not just a beauty room by any means, but it's kind of just like this weird hybrid of my office, my second living room, my studio, my content creation room. And I also wanted things that would be super easy to convert back into a just like second living room office on the days that I'm not doing hair. I want it to be very easily convertible. If you guys follow Sophia Care, she's in Hawaii and she has an aesthetics room and she does that too. I remember she said something like she has like a massage bed for aesthetics and she'll like convert it into an office on the days she's not working. So I was like, wow, why did I never think about that? So that is kind of where I got the idea. Okay, next, the reason that we are starting the renovations back here. Since this is such a separate part of the house, like I said, it's very like just a separate entity. It's very easy to renovate and have it just be completely done versus we can't do the kitchen without doing the living room. We can't do the living room without doing the floors. We can't do the floors without doing the exterior, the windows, and it just catapults and it ends up being the full house demo. So this is the only like area where we can fully renovate it and not have it interfere with the rest of the house. So the last question that I'm going to answer, because I just got a few DMs of this, I shut down my Big Cartel tie-dye website and I've been selling the remainder of everything because I'm obviously trying to clear out this room on Instagram, and I got a few questions like, oh my god, so you're not gonna be doing it tie-dye at all anymore? And the answer is not the way that I am now. You know, if in like a year or two I wanted to do some type of merch that was custom tie-dyed, that's an idea I have, but definitely not like this. I just think I had so much fun doing it, but to be honest, just like the packaging and shipping and like customer service aspect isn't my dream, especially because I do it in this room and I definitely do not want to be tie-dyeing on my beautiful chiffon floors. I am selling the rest of the custom pieces on Instagram this Thursday, so if you do want like your last chance to buy something, follow me on Instagram at Abby Palmieri, and I will be posting the rest of it on Thursday morning because I am just trying to clear this room out. Okay, without further ado, let's get into what we're actually doing. So we're gonna actually start in the main part of the house so I can show you guys how this room kind of lays out with the rest of the house. We're also doing parts of the laundry room in the reno, and we're also doing parts of the backyard. So you guys know this is the living room, dining room, and just bring your way over here. Here's a little powder room, and this is the door that leads to the laundry room. So this whole little step down extension was added on. So when you open this, this is the hallway. It is not perfect by any means, and it's not completely gonna be done this round of renovations, but I will explain to you what is going to be. So right now, that is our little backyard entrance. It's very like dungeony, so that's gonna stay there for right now, but that is our backyard entrance, and then this is our laundry room. So it's just a little room. It's definitely not cute. You have this wall because when you step into the studio, here is the walk-in closet. So right now it is jam-packed with a bunch of like old decor and tie-dye and everything, so it's crazy, but I do want to show you a peek. There's like a tree and like clothing racks in here, but behind this wall is the laundry room. So what we're thinking is we're actually going to bust open this wall and open it up to that walk-in closet. So I don't want this to be just a hallway anymore. I want this just to be a huge like open concept laundry room. So from here all the way is going to just be a massive laundry room that I will walk through to get from the house through the massive laundry room into the studio. And that's obviously not gonna be a client entrance, that is going to be my entrance. We're going to be knocking that down in this round of renovations, but something that we're not gonna be doing this second, but we'll be doing when we do the living room in like the main house, is we are going to be adding really pretty like some type of glass French doors in the living room, and when that happens, that will be our backyard entrance, and we could seal up this ugly bad boy, and then we could do really pretty like windows. So instead of it being very dungeony and dark, it'll be a super bright open laundry room of my dreams. So like I said, that part isn't gonna be completely done this round, but we are gonna have this completely open, and I'm probably gonna get a new washer dryer because ours is like pretty much crapping out. This room already has absolutely gorgeous natural lighting. Like this is it without any lights on, but I just want to change all the windows and doors because I want to make it like my dream. So now we're just gonna start going through the actual studio. Since we're gonna be opening up that to that, we do not need these doors. So because of that, we are going to be sealing this up and sheetracking over it because you will be having access from that door. So this will just be a regular wall again. We are obviously going to need to repaint just because there's going to be a lot of like outlets moving, windows, doors, all that stuff. So as for the wall color, I actually did paint these walls in the color Alabaster during quarantine. It's supposed to be a super bright, warm white. I don't know if it's just me, but it still pulls a little gray to me, and it definitely could be because there's gray underneath it. When we paint it again, I might use something that's even brighter. I really want like a super bright, slightly warm undertoned white. The next thing that is going to be a big change that I'm really excited about is we're going to be redoing the floors. So honestly, the floors as they are, they're really not terrible at all whatsoever, but I've really always had this dream of doing chevron floors in a really beautiful, like lighter neutral color. Not too warm, definitely not too cool. So I actually already do have some swatches, but we're going to be saving all the floor, wall, and furniture swatches for the next part in the reno series. But we're a little torn just because the quote that the contractor gave me includes having traditional chevron floors, which means that you literally cut each individual piece of wood or tile and you place it in the chevron pattern. And that is extremely labor intensive and part of the reason why it's so expensive. I'm also just trying to see if I could find like a plank that has an artificial chevron pattern on it, just to kind of save price-wise. Something else that I'm super excited for, this was a non-negotiable for me. Since this room actually is such a separate part of the house, it actually has complete separate heating and cooling. So right now I have the heat connected, but usually the heat is off because if we're not back here, there's really no reason to have it on. It's just a good thing that we have some type of AC in general, but the plan and the goal is we are going to be getting rid of the wall AC unit, and we are going to be replacing it with a beautiful ductless mini split that is gonna be tucked right in the top corner. It's gonna be way more sleek, no more bulky wires, and one of my favorite parts about the whole damn thing is that it's actually going to be heating and cooling, and that means that we can get rid of these ugly baseboards. So over ugly baseboards and radiators. Thankfully, since the mini split is going to be heating as well, we get to kill the baseboard plumbing, get rid of the baseboards completely, and put in a really pretty base molding because they're horrific. So being able to replace that with really pretty molding is going to make a world of a difference. And I obviously also want some type of fancy one that I could connect from my phone. We're still not gonna always have it running back here, so if I'm going to be coming down here in a half hour, I wanna be able to wake up and go on the app and turn on the heat or the AC. So it's perfect temperature by the time that I come back here. There's also a lot that the contractor recommended that I didn't really think about, but I'm like, you're probably right. So we had all the hi-hats put in when we moved in, but he recommended doing smaller, maybe a black trim hi-hat. It will look more modern. We're probably gonna redo the insulation. We're probably gonna redo the electric, like really just kind of like perfect it. But that does it for all of like the big things that's kind of like room wide. And now we're gonna go through it wall by wall, and then you'll see what all the tape means because there's a lot going on. And as I talk, I'm going to insert footage of like diagrams, inspo, and also me and Vinny taping off all of like the doors, window, and some furniture. So we're gonna start with what's really obvious, which is like all the tape. So I wanna preface this by saying every city and state is different, but in mine, you have to have a complete separate bathroom and a complete separate entrance. So the bathroom we have back here, we are not going to be renovating it right now because, you know, like I said, price-wise, but that will eventually get done. It is a very spacious bathroom that is not organized right now because there's not really much organization going on in here. We don't really use this bathroom a lot, but it is a perfectly functioning bathroom and will eventually get redone. So for my separate entrance, what I really wanted to splurge on was a huge statement door. I love arches, so I really wanted a massive arch door, and I fell in love with Pinky's custom doors. I will link them down below. I have been obsessed with their doors for months. I love their arches and the black trim and the detailing, and I love it. Unfortunately, the only thing is since I had to order it custom for the dimensions, it does take about 20 weeks. So it is already ordered, but we're going back and forth with the CADs right now. So I'm assuming it is beginning of March right now. I'm assuming that it'll probably be in end of July, beginning of August. And then I'm hoping maybe we could like start the reno maybe around June or July. That way, that is like the last thing that needs to be done. Me and Vinny took the CAD that we liked the best and he helped me tape it off to the exact measurements. So you can see it's kind of going over the windows because those windows are not gonna be staying there, but it is just going to be this gorgeous door. It's gonna go all the way down to the floors because those baseboards aren't gonna be there. And it is going to go up as high as possible. We do have to put a header in to hold it, which is why it doesn't go all the way up. It is going to be so big and beautiful. I'll insert my inspo picture right here. And this part of it on either side is actually going to be fixed. So that is not part of the door. It's gonna look like it, but it's actually gonna be like a fixed like window type thing. But all one unit, so that way when you open the door, only this part is opening, because if it opened up open here, it'd be way too big, and for like a 5-foot girl to try and open up, it'd kind of be a lot. And another thing to mention is that it is going to be outward swinging instead of indoor swinging, because since it is such a big door, if it was indoor swinging, I don't want it to be like messing up anything inside. So because of the fact that it's gonna be outdoor swinging, we're going to need to add a patio, but once again, we'll get to that. There's a lot of moving parts. On to the windows. You could see there's going to be, as of right now, one, ignore that for now, and 1. So I'm very happy that we taped it off. Reason being is because I will show my inspo pictures. I got them from Anderson and they're going to be beautiful black grid windows. I am so excited. They're actually a lot bigger than I thought. I don't know why I thought they were going to be thinner. I definitely wanted them full length. I already ordered them too, so it's like nothing I could really do about it now, but I did think they were gonna be thinner. Obviously, the more light, the better, but I am worried about this back wall looking a little busy. You could see that that side is in a little bit more. I'll explain to that in a second. It's because we're doing built-ins and the wall is actually going to be in more. So I am a little worried about looking busy because basically this whole entire wall is going to be a grid window, huge door grid window. I feel like there's a 50% chance it might look perfect, but I think what we're going to do is I think this wall is 100% gonna be perfect because you're gonna have 1 and 1. So since the windows are coming first, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna put those 2 windows in first, see how they look. And if they look super light and airy, I'll be like, okay, perfect. But if I feel like they're a little bit too much of a statement, worst case scenario, we could save those 2 windows for when we do the full reno, put them in the basement or something, and then decide to use them at a different location in our house because I don't want it being too busy, but we're gonna see. That's neither here nor there, but I did order 4, so we will see. There's nowhere else in this room we could put them because this back wall is obviously connected to the house, so you can't put any windows there. And now we can get on to the built-ins, which I'm so excited about. If you see this blue tape on the ground, the wall is actually going to be coming in that much. So we are gonna be moving the door over a little bit. This might be one of the things in this room that I'm the most excited about besides the big door, because I haven't actually seen anyone do it the exact way that I'm thinking. Here is my inspo picture, but what I am thinking is, so if the whole wall is bumped out this amount, let's say around here is the middle, I want to have a standard built-in right here, that it's gonna be the TV, some counter space above it, and then we're gonna have a couple cabinets, one being a wine fridge. And then on either side, we're going to be doing just gorgeous arch built-in shelvings like that picture, but one on either side, so it's nice and symmetrical. And then the rest of it is just going to look like a wall. On that corner, I'm probably going to have a little like cocktail bar set up. And since I'm gonna have the TV and this is gonna be a little bit of a second living room, I did really want some type of seating. Obviously, it's not going to be enough for a full couch. I mean, I probably could, because something to remember, that desk and chair are not gonna be there. I'm the queen of ordering furniture and before I even used it, wanting new ones. That's not gonna be there, so I probably would have enough for a couch, but I do want everything to be very open and spacious and flowy and not feel too bulky. So what I was kind of torn between, and I still kind of am because I haven't ordered anything yet, I was thinking about getting 2 Harmony chairs by West Elm, which is actually the style that our couch is, and kind of angling them right here towards the TV. But I actually saw something that I'm absolutely obsessed with. I'll insert pictures, and it is like kind of like an egg chair. I mean, it's like a swivel chair and it looks so cozy, and I feel like something about that. Actually, I have this ottoman here, so you could use it as a guideline. Because if the TV is kind of where the camera is. So once again, that's not gonna be there. If I have some type of like swivel chair that's around this size, then I can literally just kick back and like watch TV right here. And then also, since it swivels, I'd be able to swivel and, you know, if a client is here, talk to my client for a second while she's sitting right there. Really like multifunctional. The West Elm Harmony chairs I do think would look absolutely beautiful, and they're not completely crossed off my list, but I think that that'd be more practical. On to this wall. So once again, since we are going to be having access to the bump out whatnot from the door over here, we are going to be able to sheetrock over this wall. Since the built-in will be coming out to around here, we're gonna have to move the door over kind of maybe like that much or so. We're thinking of doing a really cute little pocket door where it's like hiding in the wall. Since we have to knock down the wall anyway, it's not really gonna add a lot. So then from here to maybe here, actually, it's gonna be a little bit longer. We're gonna have some more cabinetry, and that's gonna be like my storage with a countertop and then some floating shelves. And then I'm going to have a little sink right here. I haven't decided if I want just a regular plain white mini farmhouse sink or if I want like a really cool boho type of one. And then I'm also gonna have a shampoo sink right there. And that's gonna be the only fixture that is permanent because I don't love the look of portable shampoo sinks. I always said too that I would do a backsplash above it, but we'll see it financially. But I did find a backsplash tile that I love. So I feel like that is something that we'll probably add on. Then back to this wall. So like I said, we are definitely going to have these two windows. They're either going to be placed exactly like they are now, or maybe even a little bit closer to either wall. We haven't decided yet, we'll see. But what this is taped out for, and I feel like I've mentioned this before, so you might be able to tell what's coming by the shape, but I am going to be ordering that stunning Our House mirror that is huge. It is 5 feet wide, 7 feet tall, and it is my dream mirror. And I actually posted on Instagram asking if anyone knew any like discount codes or sales coming up. I could tell people thought I just meant like the little gold detailing on the top and they're like this big. Like, no, I just needed the sheer size. Like, I even found some that were like 4 feet wide and 6 feet tall, and that was not enough for me. I wanted a huge mirror. I love it where you can take a picture and you don't even see the outline of the mirror. That also takes 17 to 20 weeks to get here. And then to, I think, wrap up the room, in this corner, I'm actually gonna have my little office set up. I don't care if it's in front of a window, especially because this window and this window, if I do put them in, are actually going to be fixed. These two are going to be like movable. So anyway, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to be doing a teeny one right there, or if I might end up doing like, you know, some type of one right there. But I love the idea of doing a bench as an office desk. Something super minimalistic and boho that's kind of low to the ground a little bit. Like kind of like, I really want a super simple bench. Of course, the main one I love is from Restoration Hardware. Trying to find something a little bit less expensive, but that is what I am thinking. Maybe with a cool type of like leather stool under it, like a little leather ottoman, and that is where I'm going to have my MacBook all day, so that way I can edit between clients, because that is something that actually drives me absolutely crazy right now, is when I want to edit at work between clients. There's not really a lot of space on the counter, so it's such a pain having to bring my laptop to and from work. So that is something I'm so excited just to have over there. And I'm not looking for it to be super comfy. Like the leather ottoman will be more for like a quick sit down and for style, because I have a feeling when I'm really editing, I'm going to be sitting on my little egg chair. I'm calling it an egg chair, I don't know why, it's just like the shape of an egg. So that is actually it for the studio part of the renovation. Now we can talk about that patio that I was talking about that's going to be through the door. So let's head into the backyard. So it is super bright right now, but this is the backyard. It is super dead from the winter and a mess, but we are actually going to be doing the fence. So we've always wanted to do white PVC. Right now it's a bunch of different stuff. White wood there, and then we have like that type of like wire fence type of thing, and that goes all the way around, and we just want to really do like PVC, really nice 6-foot fence. It'll definitely be pricey to fence in the whole like half an acre, but it will totally be worth it, hopefully, to never have to again after this. And a walkway is gonna follow through all the way here. Right now it's, like I said, it's a winter mess, but the walkway is gonna follow from there all the way to over here, because right there is going to be the beautiful arch door, and it's gonna be like a little patio that's like a square. And what I'm actually thinking is, so like patio, walkway, arch door, and then I actually want to have a cute little like mini PVC fence around the patio, just so the dogs can't jump up on the glass door when they're playing outside. All right, so now we are back in the studio, and that basically does it. I feel like this video is going to be super long and wordy, but hopefully I explained everything, and I'm obviously going to be bringing you guys throughout the whole process. Probably not going to be completed for 4 or 5 months, but It's gonna be a super fun process. The fence aspects and a lot of like the backyard part of it is probably gonna be within the next month or two. We're going to be picking out the floors, the walls, the furniture, the cabinet colors, and like ordering a lot of the furniture. But make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.